During this video, we're gonna see some really big relation between witchcraft and, how can I say it, love and money profession. So you can see the two of them, I'm talking about the witch and the love and money lady, they're completely related. The two of them, they're related with the sin. The two of them, they're related with the blame. The two of them, they're related with the curse and the superstition. But first, we need to talk about a little bit about the medieval era. In that time, there is nothing like science or medicine. Remember, in that time, most of the people, they don't know how to read. The only way to survive is to survive in a farm or in a farm of someone else. In that time, they believed that the earth was flat. There is no medicine. There is nothing in that time. But also, with the lack of science, there is also superstition, religion, and of course, machismo. And we need to understand how the culture believed that everybody exists in that time. One of the beliefs before the big plague is that when you're super close to God, you won't have any kind of diseases or you're gonna live a bunch of time. That belief comes with the idea that most of the priests or people working around churches or places full of funny people with really big robes, they're living in a warm place. They're living with a full stuff of food. They didn't have any issue with nothing. And maybe they have the kind of first attempts of having medicine of that time. So, what is the relation with that society with the women? Women can only live under the place of a man. The man that is a provider, that is a worker, or maybe a really big guy working I don't know where. But there is no way that a woman living alone in an independent life could be living completely alone and independent. So, what's happened when a woman falls completely into the poor part of the society? So, what's happened when a woman falls completely into the poor part of the society? When they're not able to provide enough food, enough money, enough nothing. They have 2 or 3 options. Any of them are the worst of the world. First, you cannot go to a church. It's impossible to be living over there because women are related with sin. Second, you can go on the streets waiting for people to give you some money with a little bit of luck. It's even worse if you have kids. If you have kids, you're in the worst case scenario. And then you have the other stuff. One is the love and money profession, and the second is going to the woods in the hidden area, living in the way that you can. But hidden areas are the place to love and money professions. Most of the cases. I'm not talking that I know too much about it, but I know a little bit. So, if you started to hear the stories about these ladies, it's about the idea of she spelling me, she makes some kind of curse around me, and she attract me to her place and sinful places. So, right now I'm talking about witches, not love and money profession. So you can see there is a really big relation between the two kind of ladies. They're living outside the area, they're living in a hidden place, they're living outside the society, they're living in poverty. And I think it's the perfect place to find this kind of stuff. I think the worst stuff around this kind of history that I'm talking about it is that they burn the witches. They blame it for everything. So they pay it for the love and money stuff, and then when the sinful thinking of, oh my God, I've been attacked by a witch, I'm so cursed right now, you burn it. It's horrible. So after that, you can blame these ladies about everything because they are the sin for that people. not for me. One of the most funny stuff that I found while I was researching about this stuff, these ladies can steal your, we can call it Johnson. Remember, we are talking in a time there is no disease control, so it could be super common that these kind of ladies, they could suffer some kind of disease and they can transmit it. And these guys, when they go to these beautiful places spelling by the powers of the evil, they lose their Johnson. It's funny because around the medieval era, it was around 100 of reports of guys losing their Johnson. But don't lie to me. You go to a place, you say, oh my god, that was a spelling of the evil one. You had a disease right now. That's another problem. But don't go to the church saying, oh my god, she stole my Johnson. It's funny because they can make the report to the authorities or whatever, and they can say that that lady in the woods stole my stuff, but they never research, because nowadays if someone says, hey guy, you know what, someone stole my, I don't know, the Johnson, they're gonna say, well, show me to me. There is no Johnson over here. No, it's still there, but you know what. And then you need to understand the philosophy of the relation that they have with the religion stuff in that time. Everybody was Christian, okay? Inside the Christian philosophy, you need to understand that the only pleasure that you can have is the pleasure that you have for God. There is no pleasure of the women around that area in that time. And I could think that those ladies, I'm talking about the married ladies, I'm not talking about the witches and all the stuff. We can call it now love and money, and witches are going to be the same. That ladies had no pleasure at all. I think it was something super faster than I. So try to understand this kind of stuff. Suddenly you had no money, and you need to go to the woods to live some kind of whatever outside the society, because you're going to be something that is horrible for the people, that is poor people. And suddenly you started to have clients for witchcraft, okay? And when you have clients, you have lovers, and maybe you can have friendships, and maybe you can start to feel pleasure. That we know today there is pleasure around that kind of exercise. So if you're thinking like a religious person, you can think that if you don't have pleasure connecting to God, who is the one that is giving you pleasure? Yes, I'm talking about the evil one, the demon number one. I'm talking the best crypto bro, Fibonacci, Ponzi scheme of all time. I'm talking about Beelzebub, the demon, the worst of all. Yes, I can understand those ladies thinking that that pleasure is coming from the other guy. No, not Johnson, you dirty mind. And there is something else that maybe you don't know. If you're able to meet one of these ladies, I'm talking about the love and money ladies, I cannot tell you how do I met these ladies. And maybe talking, because she say, oh, you know, I'm some kind of witch and whatever. And you're gonna see that they're super superstitious, because there is a reason and a relation between superstition, witchcraft, and poverty, because witchcraft is the power of the poverty. Sadly, the people that are living in the poverty, they have the small feeling that with witchcraft and all the stuff, they can have some kind of stuff, some kind of power inside their own lives. So, in small words, we can see a really big relation between the name witch and also it's a really big relation between ladies that they abandoned the common life and they went to the woods, and suddenly they completely trapped in something that is horrible for everybody, because even you're living in the sin, because you're persecuted by everybody, and some people, they want to burn you. And in that place you can find pleasure. it's a super sad story about these ladies that they're living this kind of life. So I think it's a really big relation between witch and love and money ladies. But I tried to find some kind of stuff and there is no really big research around it. Some people say that the words they're completely related, but the etymology of the words they're not related at all. So what do you think about this stuff? Witch and love and money ladies, they're related? I think they are. Well, ladies and gentlemen, like, subscribe, keep fooling around, tune in with the channel and fijne dag.